I promise one of these days I will have sufficient lighting in my room. Today's not that day, but Dragons and Nomads, welcome back to the channel. I tend to do a video like this kind of every year. Today I want to talk about my loadouts that I run, and I put that in quotes because I'm not going to talk about my gear stuff. None of my gear has really changed in the last year. I still use the same plate carriers, the same helmet, my dye mask. The only thing that really has changed is I got a new face mask. I'll show a picture of it on screen. I'm going to test it out this weekend. It's not mesh, it's like a silicone insert instead, so it's gonna be soft and squishy. If a BB hits, it might still kind of push in and hit me like on the lip or something like that, but it'll take the brute of the impact, and like it's not gonna crack teeth or anything like that. So just figured I'd stray away from the mesh because it keeps pushing in on my nose and it kind of hurts. Today I wanted to talk about my replicas because in the last year I have obtained some new ones, and I have done some upgrades and changes to the ones that I have. So I'll start first with my KWA QRF Mod 3. I currently don't have it. Paul is doing some work on it to get it ready for Sheboygan. I think I'm going to bring it with me to Sheboygan as like a backup SMG. I don't know if I'm going to have to use it. Hopefully I won't have to use it, but it'll be nice to have as a backup just in case, God forbid, something does happen. He is doing a lot of work on it on the internals. He's messing with like the piston. I think he said he shimmed. He said he re-shimmed it. A bunch of other stuff. I don't know any of the, I don't know the extent of what he's done to it, so I'm not going to try to go into detail, but it is being heavily worked on, and I don't have it at the moment, so I'm not going to show that, but still do have it, just haven't used it in a while. So just like before, I'm going to start with my oldest gun, work my way up to my newest gun. My oldest gun is technically this rifle right here. This was the Gen 3 Lancer Tactical, the LT32 with the M-Lock. I think it was like a 13-inch handguard or something like that. Could be wrong, but I'll show a picture on screen of what it used to look like, and then this is what it looks like now. If you saw the video last time I talked about this, or if you've seen it in any of my recent videos, you may or may not notice it does look even more different than last time. That is because I changed the upper and lower receiver. So this gun is now completely metal with the exception of the pistol grip and the stock itself. Kevin gave me that Lancer Tactical Needletail rifle that I reviewed a while ago, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to see that video. But what I did is I took the upper and lower receiver off that gun and I put them on this gun. So it is HPA, full metal, with a drop stock. There is a max hop-up in there, and if you can see, like I said, lighting is terrible. I put the blue hop-up in there opposed to my orange one because I figured it would look better, you know, it all matches. This is a metal handguard. This is also a Lancer Tactical handguard. No idea what replica it's originally from. But yeah, completely metal. Got some good weight to it. It's not too heavy, but it's very durable considering it's now all metal. And it does have like a, well, let me flip it over to the other side so you can actually see it. It does have like a skeletonized receiver, so you can see there's some cutouts here on the mag well, and then also up here in the upper receiver you can see some cutouts. You know, loses some ounces, and they say ounces equals pounds in the military, so you know, the lighter you can get it while still being functional, the better, theoretically. But I don't really use this gun a whole lot, even though it shoots really nice. I just like to use a variety of different platforms, which is why I only have the one M4. There are thousands of M4s out there on the market. I just don't buy all of them because I don't see a point in it. Like, you have one, they kind of all do the same. And you could say that about every airsoft gun. Like, every airsoft gun shoots BBs the exact same way, just some of them look a little different. But I do also still have my Noveski upper receiver, so if we play indoors, I switch out the upper receiver for the little short boy here. So words are hard today, I apologize. Up next, we have the Arcturus AK-12. This is still a beast of an AEG. If you're looking to get into the AK platform, but you want something that is very high performance, that's modern, will take accessories, and you don't have to upgrade it at all, this is the rifle for you. It is expensive, I will say. This is probably still about a $500 rifle, but I've had this gun now for like 2.5 years, and I've not had to do a single thing to this gun. It is completely stock to this day, and it fucks. Comes with 130 round mid-cap magazines, which I have 6 of. I will say one of my mags did go down, and I had to do a little bit of jerry-rigging to get it to work, but since then I've had no issues with feeding or anything like that. The only issues I have had with this gun is there was one time my select fire, when you pull this all the way down, it hangs past the receiver. One time, for some reason, it was not shooting, so I think it was just pulled down a little bit too far. Just had to push it up a little bit to get it to go. Haven't had the issue since, and that was at Central City one time. And then there's a roll pin in the stock that keeps coming loose, and it will either block my stock from being able to go in all the way, or if it's in all the way and it comes loose, pulling out is very difficult. But every so often, I just take my little mallet and hammer that roll pin back in. But other than that, this gun is fucking phenomenal. It is worth every penny. If you're looking to get into AKs, like I said, you want something that's more modern, that performs, this is it. This is the AK. Like Arcturus, somebody in there was fucking when they made this gun. This specifically is the PE model. It comes with the prune MOSFET out of the box, so worth every fucking penny. Swear to God, I do not regret buying this one bit. I don't use it much also, just because, like I said, I like to use a variety of stuff. You know, I feel like if you see the same gun over and over again, it gets kind of boring, and using the same gun gets kind of boring. I do love this gun. I am going to start using this gun more, but I do, usually when we go to an outdoor field, I do bring it as a backup if it's not my primary. Now, moving on, this is Agatha. You guys have seen her on the channel a while. When I first got it, it was an Army Armament AUG. And since then, I have replaced the JG body. I have a Kythera in it. I had a Unicorn inner barrel and bucking combo, which I think right now it might have a Macron maple leaf bucking in it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't quite remember. This foregrip I also had to put on there separately. This did not come on the gas block or outer barrel or whatever you want to call it. But my most recent addition, if you can see on the inside there, it's kind of hard to see, that little red shimmering metal piece right there, that is the Novrich SSR 77 hop-up. And I figured I would try it out because Novrich his products are pretty well known for their accuracy, and that's kind of what he builds them for, being, you know, the sniper guy on YouTube, one of them at least. So I figured I would see it and see if it works in there, and it does kind of fit with a standard AUG outer barrel. That being said, you do have to do some modifications to get it to work properly. In the 2 times I've used Agatha since installing this new hop-up, it was freezing cold outside, and the gun kept freezing up on me, and it was not working, so I do not have an accurate test as to whether this upgrade is worth it. As of right now, I'm going to say it's not worth doing, but I do plan on testing it more in the future, just to get a more accurate test with it. As much as I love this gun, I really don't know if the performance I get out of it is worth running it as a primary. The trigger response, despite being better than what it was before, like pulling on it, trying to spam the trigger, your finger gets super fucking tired. I use my middle finger a lot when I'm shooting with this gun, because my middle finger gets a little bit more power, I feel like, probably because of how many times I've flipped people off and been working it out a lot over the years. But I love this gun and I don't want to give up on it, but then I go out and use it and something fucks up and it makes me want to give up on it. So I'm going to keep trying with it, but you know, if you don't see it a lot in the future, just know that's why. Up next here is the Crytek Chris Vector AEG. This gun I'm a little bit concerned about. If you saw on my Instagram a while ago, and if you don't follow me, here's a QR code to my Instagram. You can go follow me and check out some stuff. I try to post some exclusive stuff on there every once in a while, but sometimes I forget I have that page. But a little while ago, I took this thing out to Jihow and went to use it, and my piston head exploded. Just like catastrophic malfunction. And that was only the second time I brought it out. The first time I took it was to Milwaukee, and it worked just fine. Second time, just completely destroyed itself. I don't know if it was because of the spring I put in it. I did put a higher FPS spring in it. I got it shooting up to like 1.4 joules, and I don't know if maybe for whatever reason that just killed the gun. It realistically shouldn't have, especially for not how expensive this is. Like, it should have been performing just fine, but maybe I just got a lemon. That kind of seems to be my luck. But we have replaced the piston head, and I plan on taking this to Sheboygan up in the asylum. I want to get some full auto gameplay with this because it's a Vector. It's fun. I do have 7 magazines now for this gun. Previously, I only had 4. I bought another 3-pack. So that puts me just shy of 700 rounds. And it should be fun to use indoors full auto as long as this gun works. But like I said, I am concerned about it. So this will kind of be like a little test. My AUG just fell over. But that'll be kind of just like a little test. Since last time you have seen this gun, however, I have got just a couple of little upgrades for it. Other than the additional magazines, I did purchase a QD adapter here. So it essentially replaces one of the body pins in the upper receiver, and it allows me to use a quick detach sling point. Because the only other sling point on this gun, my magazine just fell out, is this one here on the stock. Let me kind of put it right there in front of my skin so that you can see it better. That's the only sling point that comes on the gun, so I bought this as an additional one. I only have a 2-point sling, so, you know, I can run it there, I can run it up here. I did originally have it mounted all the way up here, but it was kind of blocking the charging handle, and then when the sling would hang down, it would block my button for my flashlight. But other than that, the only other upgrade I have done is an extended cap on the pistol grip, because this is where the battery is stored. It's a little bit stiff because it is brand new, but it's just an extended cap. I don't know if you can see the wire right there, but it is where the battery goes. So it just gives you a little bit more space. So you don't have to be worried about your wires getting pinched or anything like that. Assuming this gun does work just fine and I don't have any problems with it moving forward, I am thinking about doing a couple of upgrades to it, but it probably won't be a while until I do that. Also, depending on how this gun performs at Sheboygan, I may or may not designate this as an indoor gun only. If you remember when I went to Central City on their tank day, I brought my QRF, tried using it full auto. Really wasn't worth it for the performance I was getting. I'm kind of nervous that this is going to be the same way. Sheboygan does have the advantage that it is mostly indoors, as long as you're playing in the asylum section of it and not on the outside. But I'm not going to be outside trying to fucking snipe people across the yard or anything like that. That'd be stupid. Now, I still do have both my pistols, my Glock 19 and my High Kappa. I don't know any details about the High Kappa. It was purchased pre-used, so I don't know what kind of stuff is in it. I do know I believe it was my nozzle or my blowback unit completely got destroyed when we were at MK Medina the second day, Sunday when we were there, and it was just fucking up like crazy. So Paul did fix it for me, so there's even more components in there that I don't know what they are, but it is working. But I still have that, and I have my Glock 19. I'm not going to show them because they're up in my closet. I really don't use sidearms a whole lot. I tend to, if I'm using like my primary or whatever, I'll be like, oh, hey, I have my sidearm. I should use it. And I'll pull it out and try to use it. And then I should have just kept my sidearm, or I should have just kept my primary, because trying to use my sidearm gets me killed. So the pistols, I mean, they're really only good for indoors anyways for the way that I play. Because, you know, if my primary breaks, like in a milsim, I'm not going to be like, oh, I have my Glock. You know, that's going to be fucking stupid. I'll just go get my other primary and keep playing. I have rifles for indoors. I have rifles for outdoors. I have rifles for milsim. I have rifles for CQB. Like, I really don't plan on buying anything else for the future. I don't plan on buying anything else unless it offers a unique play style for me. And what I mean by that is, like I said before, all rifles shoot BBs the exact same way. They just look different on the outside, right? Whether it's an AEG or HPA, like they all do the exact same thing. They shoot BBs at people you're aiming at. And to me, it feels kind of redundant just buying different platforms. It'd be like, oh, well, I don't have an MP5. Well, I don't have a SCAR. Well, I don't have, you know, as much as I would like to, because I'm an enthusiast of those types of real firearms, and they're a lot cheaper than real firearms. It's just getting kind of redundant having, you know, 5, 6 different rifles that all do the same thing, but it's like, which one do I want to use today, you know? So unless it's something like a heavy machine, not a heavy machine gun, unless it's something like a light machine gun where I can play more of a support role and use full auto at fields like Central City and stuff, or if it's something like a DMR or a sniper where I could sit back more, you know, do some more marksman shots. I did just recently use the sniper rifle at Central City, and it was fun, but I did miss the follow-up potential that semi-auto rifles have. So if I do get some sort of marksman rifle, it will be a DMR, I think. And I have my eye on one that I do like. So with that said, I don't plan on buying any more replicas, except for maybe a shotgun. I still do want a shotgun. We just don't really play indoors a lot to really justify the purchase right now. But I'm going to say, unofficially speaking, officially, unofficially, my collection is complete, and I will not be buying any new guns. You guys are not going to see any new guns in 2026. And that's everything. So, any soda in there. I drank all of it. Fuck. Anyways, this is my brand new replica. This is the HK416A5 from VFC. It is an AEG, and I'm going to go use it tomorrow at GHAL. Tomorrow at the time of recording. By the time this video goes live, it's going to be the day before. So, yeah, I know I just said I wasn't going to buy anything, and it's redundant to keep buying platforms, but I've wanted a 416 for so fucking long, dude. They're so hot. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. This thing shoots fucking lasers just from testing it. Like, out of the box, without adjusting the hop-up or anything, it was shooting like 1.52 with 3.2s. So, I mean, just, fuck. I don't know what to say about this gun. It's so hot. What I like about it is the front sight is integrated into the rail, so I can mount my run cam here, and it'll essentially block that. But I can keep the rear sight block on there, and put my red dot up there, and I put a foregrip on here. Got a metal flash hider. So this gun is full metal. It is the VFC one, like I said, so it has the VFC internals, which Paul said are dog shit, but I guess we'll see. It was shooting pretty good when I used it, so. I think a big reason why I got this gun, honestly, is because of the quad rail. I've wanted a quad rail for a really long time. I don't know why I fucking love quad rails. Picatinny quad rails are just, they're so hot. But what I'm thinking about doing is kind of building this out like a Battlefield 4 loadout. So I'm thinking about maybe getting some attachments and stuff and kind of rebuilding like a Battlefield 4 loadout. I think it would be a lot of fun. And if you look on the side there too, it does have the official HK letters and logos and stuff like that. So I don't know. I like HK. HK makes a lot of great products. I've wanted a 416 for a very long time. Fucking love this gun. So yeah, it has the flip-up iron sights, full metal, rotary style hop-up. It does lock to the rear, the charging handle, but I'm not going to pull it back because I tend to pull those things back too much and break them. Ambidextrous controls, ambidextrous mag release, select fire, bolt lock. Yeah. The only thing I wish this gun did have was another mounting spot for sling point, because you get the one here in the rear, and I attached an aftermarket one up here on the top of the rail, just so, again, I can use my 2-point sling. But I'm going to get you guys some gameplay with this, and you're going to see it on the channel very soon.